We are now going to sort of revise what we have done in the reading unit and look at the reading skills while our students are reading, what they need to look for. So they need to look for the linked text. They have to find out and identify where the text is being linked and why it is being linked. Another thing that we have to look for is cohesion. Why are certain things bonded together? Why are these sentences in chain with one another? Why can't they be separate? And if they would be separate, would they change the meaning of the text? The student needs to identify that. Then elision, which I said earlier, is quite often ignored by the students and the teacher, but it is a very important feature of the text while you are reading. You look for elision, where there are pauses, why there are pauses, what is the situation which brings a speaker to pause and does not complete the sentence. And then we are also left with the imagination. What would the speaker have said if he would have completed this sentence? So all these skills the students need to develop in themselves. Repetition. Repetition is another important feature by which the students, they can learn a lot. And this repetition is usually done by the students when they are doing silent reading. In the loud reading, they cannot afford to do that because they need to complete the task. Then we come to punctuation, which is another important feature, quite often ignored again by the students and the teachers, because probably we think punctuation is a feature of writing, but actually it is also a feature of reading, because the more you realize where you have to punctuate in reading, only then you would be able to punctuate while you are writing. Since we ignore it in reading, the students do not learn it when and where they have to punctuate. So where there's a question, there has to be a question mark. The sentence formation. The students, while reading, must look at the sentence formation of the text. What type of a text is it? Is it a narrative text? Is it an argumentative text, which we will be talking about later in our writing skills, because these are topics related to writing. But of course, we need to identify while reading also. So the students would be looking for the types of text as well, especially at secondary and higher levels. The students should be aware of the type of text and they should look for that. And the sentence formation actually focuses on the type of text. Then the use of idioms, similes, metaphors. The students will always learn them while reading those. Or another way to learn the idioms or phrases is when they are listening to these. But usually these days, I think the modern times, the language to which the students listen, it lacks idioms, phrases, similes, because people are now fond of more casual language. In the earlier days, these things were very much included in the spoken language as well, and students would learn all these idioms, similes, metaphors, phrases from listening to them as well. But now I think the teacher needs to make an extra effort to make the students identify all these features of language which actually make the language rich. And especially when the students are doing essay type questions or when they are writing in detail, these things can actually help them a lot and improve their writing skills. Why I keep on talking about writing all the time with the reading, because writing is the direct product of reading. So basically the advantages that you are getting and looking for in reading would be actually becoming mature when you are writing. The writing would be a reinforcement of the reading that you have done. Similarly, the students need to look for this skill, that whatever they are going to identify in reading a text, reading a phrase, reading a simile, reading a metaphor, they are going to produce it likewise in their writing product. Therefore, use of phrases, metaphors, and all the grammar techniques used in the reading text must be identified by the students while they are reading.